Hi everyone. Let me go back to when I realised that we needed to have a connection to ourselves. So I was recovering from a very big, it was a 10-hour operation, and in that time it really made me slow down. And I realised that I could connect in with my own soul, the essence of me, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it their higher self. So I sometimes refer to it as my higher self or my soul. But I had the most profound experience in those days when I was recovering, and I had time to myself. Gosh, sometimes I wonder whether these things are sent to us to help us because life just gets so busy. So that's where it started, when I realised that I could connect in with myself. Since then, okay, I've qualified as a craniosacral therapist. That was back in 2013, and then I did equine craniosacral, and I started to link in with horses. And again, using similar techniques. There's several different ways of doing it, but it is possible not only to link in with yourself, but intuitively sense into an animal or even a child. And what it is, when you realise you've got a connection to yourself, is that the body realizes that it's not just the suitcase that you're inhabiting. That there's like a partnership. So we have the mind, which I've said before is in three places in the body. You have your gut brain, you have your um, brain in the heart, and you have the brain in the mind. So all three of those kick in to work with the body. But there's also the energy field around us. Now, in that field, we store all sorts of information, and it can be very, very, very wide field. Now, when I say wide, 12, 13 feet. Now, in that, if we go through life and we have lots of things happening, say there's lots of stresses, there's lots of deadlines, there's work, there's family pressure, you may be moving house, you may be getting divorced, someone may be ill, you may be ill. Um, there's a whole host of things, and it's like it sometimes it gets, instead of it being stored in the body, it's stored in your energy field. And what happens is this little spark of you, this, like, your soul, your higher self, goes, whoa, this is too difficult being in this body, and I can't be kind of connected. And it feels like it just kind of it separates itself from the actual physical body. Because don't forget, you have come here to experience a human experience as a soul. We've had many incarnations, and we've come down, and each time we're learning, and every time we come down we start afresh, learning again, and adding to our soul's experience. Hey everyone, I'm so grateful you're here. If this resonates with you, do subscribe so that you'll be able to get my next video when it comes out. When you feel disconnected from yourself, when you feel like, where's the old me gone? Well, I used to be fun, I used to be happy, I used to have so much more energy. I now feel a bit kind of sad, deflated, no mojo, no inspiration to do anything, and you've kind of gone a bit flat. So it's not that you've lost yourself, it's you've lost that connection to self. So that life has got so busy around you that your nervous system is overloaded, and it's exhausting for your body trying to deal with all of that you're putting into it. And it's about understanding that we can get back to connect to ourselves. There is a way of doing it. And it's essentially slowing down. And it is possible to come back, link in with yourself, and really kind of connect and start to let some of this go. And really it means slowing down. So recently I fell foul of this too, and I kind of had so much on, lots of family commitments as well, and I felt like I was slowing up, but I was actually trying to work even harder to keep the things going. But in that was really depleting my energy. So I stopped listening for a little while. And so it's very easy to do. So it's not a criticism, it's an observation. And when we observe what we're doing, it's like it says, okay, right, we need to slow down, because if we don't slow down, something will slow us down. So I fell flat on my face. So I had to take a week off work. So that was my message, and in that, okay, initially I was like, oh, it's really annoying that I've fallen on my hands and hit my face, but actually it was, what was the message in that? And the message was, slow down, come back to self, and do a regroup, because it feels like the soul is trying to help, and the soul can't help if it's got too much of life stuff that is, you know, within your energy field. So let's explain, what is this life stuff? Life stuff is your job, your pressure, your churning in your mind, being around other people that are going through difficult times. That again can have a toll on you. Going to crowded places, I've mentioned that in other videos, how that can overload your system. Being on any kind of social media, that has a frequency. Everything has a frequency. So if you can imagine, if you kind of tune into Zen path frequency, you will get a, just when you go into it, when you download the app or you go to the website and you start reading some of the stuff, it's like your body goes, oh, and that's what I want to keep the frequency of Zen path like that. On the other end of the scale, you've got the frequency of social media. And in that, you've got the urgency, the sell, and after doing some of this scrolling, you can come off it and feel, oh, you know, I feel like heavy. I feel like I'm not doing enough myself, because it looks like everybody else is having a really good time and they're very efficient at what they're doing. And you have a little bit of a, you know, am I good enough to be doing what I'm doing? So social media has its own frequency as well. Everything has a frequency. So if you went into the frequency of, say, grief, okay, grief has its own kind of layer. As you link into that frequency of grief, well, let's just do it now. Okay. So if you just breathe and just allow your body just to settle, and in your mind now bring up a time when you felt grief, something you've lost, a relationship or a person, someone's died, or an animal, or when you've felt that, just bring that into your awareness. Okay. Can you feel that layer? It's, you've gone into a memory and a layer of frequency of grief, and that's what the layer is. Right, so let's come out of that, come back into the presence. Okay. So you lift yourself out of it, and now let's go into the frequency. And just when I say go into the frequency, I mean imagine you're scrolling on social media. So you're not sitting with a video as you are now, but you are actually scrolling through. And let's just imagine scrolling through that stuff of like sell, things that are wrong with you, blah blah, all this stuff, let alone someone who's doing really well and looking fantastic, and you go, why don't my reels look like that? So all of that fear of missing out, fear of not you know, seeing all those experiences that other people are having that you're not having, then you take a snapshot of the good stuff. Right, okay, what does that feel like? Feels heavier to me. it's almost like a little bit of like emotion in that. It's, you know. Okay, so from that frequency now, lift yourself out. Breathe. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to explain, and it's difficult to explain, but this is the different layers that we have as living as a human, because without those the different energy layers, we wouldn't feel anything. So that's the whole point of us coming here to is as a soul who doesn't have a body that can't feel, comes into this body that can feel, and you've got to work out the emotions and with your physical body, but it needs to be connected with yourself. You need to be really centered so that you can come out of it. Maybe your intuition has kind of quietened down. That's again as a lack of being connected to yourself. So let's do it now. I'm going to show you something. So I would like you now to stand up. Okay, so stand up and allow your body to be like a pendulum, you know, just like a loose. You're not going to hold it with your hips. You're not going to hold it with your head. You're not going to hold your body with your knees. So allow your body to be quite fluid. Okay. Put your hands on your heart. And we are slowly, slowly, slowly going to imagine coming into our hearts. And when I say that, let's just take this focus from between your eyes. So imagine if you've got eyes closed and you're looking out through between your eyes and you're looking into the distance, but your eyes are closed, right? So you can kind of create almost like a little focus ball. So allow that ball of focus to now slowly come down your neck and drop into your heart. And now imagine you're looking out from your heart. So your feet are on the ground and everything else is relaxed and gentle and wobbly and light and okay. So with your hands on your heart, you're going to just say to your higher self or to your soul that you're going to tune in with it. Just allow it to have that awareness. There's no expectation, so don't let your head think too much about it. There's no expectation. And we're going to say to your soul, thank you for being part of me. And now I'd like to connect with you. And you're going to say, please can you show me a yes? And your body should rock forward. So come back to the center, to the equilibrium where you started. If you didn't get a response, stay where you are with your hands on your heart and say to your soul, please can you show me a strong yes? And it should begin to just rock forward. Now come back to equilibrium and say to your soul, please can you show me a no? And it should go backwards. So come back to equilibrium. If you didn't get a response to that. You say, please, can you show me a strong no? So some people might be getting a pull down or a pull up in their head for yes and no. Some people actually get a sway from left to right instead of front to back. Just go with what your body is trying to communicate with you. And now we're going to say to your soul, thank you for the connection, and thank you for showing me the yeses and nos. Thank you. Okay, so we quietened down, we linked in with our souls, and we connected and asked questions. Now we can really build on that, okay? Because what we have been doing and what we've been trained to do as humans is to look externally for help. So you go to the doctor, you go to your therapist, you go to people like me, you go out for some help. But actually, we've got it inside us. So what I'm here to do is to train you to kick in with this old, deeply held, latent superpower, this skill, this intuition skill within you. We all have it. We have the knowledge within us, and we've lost access to it because we've never really been taught that it's there. But it's coming back online, and we're feeling and sensing this so much more now than we've ever done. I mean, I can't get back how many thousands of years, but we are increasing this. So this will help you come back to yourself in order to continue with your busy life. But it's about not only just coming back to yourself and then carrying on with your busyness. It's about recognizing when you're overloaded and when you're going into feeling like you're disconnected from yourself, feeling a bit lost, feeling disempowered, feeling a lack of mojo, feeling sad, no motivation, that kind of thing. This is when we need to come back into ourselves. And what I try and teach is this, that it becomes second nature. So it becomes a way of being. So it becomes a way of living. So before I do anything, so like today, I connected in with myself. I asked for some help and some guidance with this video. And it's almost like it's something that's rolling and it starts off and I'm not very, kind of like I'm a bit slow, and then it gets momentum, and it's like, wow, we just keep going on this path. So that's what I'm trying to explain, is that you haven't lost the connection. You haven't lost yourself. You are there. You've just lost connection to yourself because life has got in the way. And it's not just the things that are going on in life, but it's what we're doing to ourselves. We're exposing ourselves to not only other energies, but also things like Wi-Fi, 5G, all that has an effect on our energy. We are balls of energy, and that has an impact as well. So, and going into different places, I've done a video recently on the effect, what's it called, that when some places feel off. And when you go in there, that can have an effect of you. But if you can keep coming back to yourself regularly and knowing what nourishes you, and understanding your body and the relationship your soul has with it via the mind, then you can really start to function in a much more efficient way than you have done in the past. So one of the things I'd like to also say is that I use that sway test. I've used it with connecting with animals, and I've used it for well, definitely with working when I was doing equine work. Too busy at the moment to do equine, but yeah, that's when I first learned about the sway test. But I was already doing it unbeknown to me because I'd had that experience after that big operation I had. So I was getting it in. So for me, it was in my head. I was getting yeses and nos in my head, and it was fascinating. Oh gosh, this is amazing. We're supposed to be connected to ourselves. We're supposed to understand how our bodies function so that we can work with this body rather than expect something else out there to help us work with this body. So often people come to me that they've spent a lifetime trying to sort their health out, but mainly because they're trying to do it from a cognitive level. What can I do to do this? Right, I've been told to do 10,000 steps a day, and I've got to drink 2 litres of water, and I've got to take all those supplements. And so I line up my supplements and I take those because that says 3 a day and that says 2 a day. And so I take all of those and I eat all the healthy food. And I'm really busy in my job and I've got a lovely family around me, but I'm still not right. Okay? Because you're still doing everything from out there. Okay? So for an example, I'm going to show you some videos now of what I do when I get up in the morning with my supplements. It's going on the background now. So as you can see, I'm standing there and I am asking my body, would this be good for me today? Okay, and I hold the supplement, and if I get a no, I don't have it. For example, if it's vitamin C and I've had loads of vitamin C over the last few days, my body is going, I don't need vitamin C in my system. So that is not necessary. It's not going to be any good. Sometimes I think you can overload with various supplements. So my body tells me what it needs, and in that, goosebumps, in that it is realizing that actually we're starting to become a team, and we start connecting, and it starts to help me. So like the kind of settling in and working out what I'm going to say on this video, it's come to help me with that. And the other thing is, I'll do it with food. I can sense when food is not right. I'll tell you what some people also use is like a pendulum. They'll get whether it's a yes or a no with the swings of a pendulum, or even the what are those like divining rods? You can get yeses and nos in the divining rods. That's a yes and that's a no. So there are other ways of doing it, but you can link in with yourself, and we've lost this connection to self, and yeah, it's almost like we've been disempowered, and we need to go elsewhere to find help. We don't. So I want to train people to get back into connection with themselves, mainly because they can then go on and teach others. Wouldn't that be great to ripple out? So if I can do that, then the mothers and the parents and the carers and the teachers and the grandparents and guardians and anyone who looks after the next generation can help them. And also with that understanding as well of your own system, your own body, your own interconnectedness of your energy field, then you can pass that information down and you can help someone else, because you can also tune in with someone else. You can link in with your pets to stop them jumping on the sofa, which I did with mine, and I explained, and when you do it with a sway test, it was like, it got me. And I said, are you going to sleep on the sofa tonight? And I go, oh no. Great, thank you very much. But all of this I can show you. But first of all, we have to start with ourselves. So when we're fully linked in with ourselves, connected, then we can add all the other ones on and help the children, and that's really one of my that is my mission. So it's In fact, I wrote this on the wall. I'm going to read this out. So Zen Path isn't just about understanding our energy. It's about understanding how we affect one another so that the next generation grows up feeling safer in themselves than we did. I've got to keep reminding myself on that. So it's not only about understanding our energy, but it's understanding how we affect one another. So not only affect one another, but also affect ourselves. Because so if you can imagine, your energy field is a bit like a social media algorithm. So if you start saying things like, I don't want to be late, I don't want to be late, you know, your energy field and your physical body and your mind, everything is hearing the word late, late, late. And you know how sometimes people say, be careful what you wish for, or so, you know, sayings like that. This is what we're talking about. If your body, your mind, everything is hearing the word late, you're more likely to be late. Okay? Because it's the universe gives you what you want in that speaking. Okay? It can also happen with a fear of something. So if you've got, you know, a lack of money, you know, I'm running out of money, I haven't got enough money, I haven't got enough, I haven't got enough, I haven't got enough. Everything is reading not enough. So when it comes to sorting out what you want out of life, get into your heart, get into connecting with your soul or your higher self, whatever you want to call it, wherever you feel it resides in you. I have a feeling it's in every cell of your body, but there's no kind of proof. Some people say it's in your spine, some people say it's in the sacrum, some people say it's in your heart, and some people say it's above your head. But I know I've connected in with a soul that's been almost like the shape of a body above the human inhabitant, and it's very much disconnected. So, and I help that kind of drop back in. That's in the craniosacral world. So when we are disconnected, it feels like it's in our field and not connected into our bodies. So watch what we're putting in the field. Make sure that what we say, things that we say, are positive. So instead of saying I don't want to be late, I want to be on time. Really focus in on the good stuff. Get into all those things that you know is good for your body. It may not be 10,000 steps. It may be 15. It may be 5. You know, feel into what feels good for you. Feel whether, you know, yoga might be good for you, but it might not be for someone else. Hot lemon in the morning might be good for you. It isn't for me, but you know, it is for some people. So what we need to do is work out, if we really deeply connect, what it is that our own system is requiring. Okay? And watch your field. Think about all those people that you're coming into contact with. Do have a look at all my other videos, because there's a little bit, it's all kind of intertwined, all of this. But essentially, it's about coming back to yourself, finding the old you, and going, oh, that's where I am. And it's sometimes there's a relief. It's like, oh. Such a relief that we're back. So we keep working with that. I work with you and the sway test, that you hone it as a skill that gets quicker and quicker and easier. I've been doing it 15 years and I'm literally going to, well, because I can do it very, very quickly. But I can show you some shortcuts on how you can do it too. And then the intuition starts kicking in. And that's really interesting. So yeah, if you want to connect to yourself, if you want to find that old you that you've lost, or maybe that you feel like you've never really known, because I've had clients in that said, I don't think I've ever really known myself. I feel like I didn't know as a child, what on earth am I doing here? Why am I here? What is it? And even adults are saying, why are they here? So let's get back to finding the real you inside you and letting go of a bit of this noise. So just a reminder, do subscribe, love you to be able to share it with as many people as possible and to get my next videos that come along. And also, if you want to download the Return to Presence, because that's a nice little audio where you can listen to over and over again about returning into a sense of stillness and presence. Anyway, it's been great. If you've got this far, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next video.